So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you want to. You think that I'm afraid, that I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control feeling my bones. I'm coming for it, coming for it. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm's coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control feeling my bones. I'm coming for it, coming for it. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay empowered for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
There we go. Welcome back. Thursday, July 23rd. We're talking about the AMC Proxy. I am testing out vertical and horizontal outputs today on YouTube, and I don't know if the YouTube is going to pick up the format that I have set up in Streamlabs, so we'll see. If it doesn't work today, it's not a big deal. I'm vertical. I'll use whatever happens today as troubleshooting for next time. First time I've tried dual output from Streamlabs to YouTube. At any rate, we have the AMC Proxy for the meeting to be held on September 24th. Now, I thought that they couldn't issue this proxy until 60 calendar days before the vote, which I was thinking would be this weekend, which means we would get it on Sunday. But we got it today, along with the 10Q. And surprise, surprise. Those of us that worry about risk or try and set up our trades to manage risk, we've been having long talks in the Discord for many weeks about what's going to be on the proxy. Obviously, we don't know, but we try and plan for everything. And there were a couple things, three things that could happen, right? Nothing's on the proxy. That is what we got. There was a very remote chance, we didn't think very likely, but possible that they could ask for a reverse split. Thank God that was not on the table. And the other option, of course, is they could have just asked for more shares. And when I say more, I was thinking like 500 million, because they're running low. I mean, they're running low. Let's be real. Maybe 150 million left. But the option that we were hoping it would be was do nothing. And that is what they elected to do nothing. And why do I think that that is bullish? Let's just jump right into it. Tell me if you agree or disagree. The company's got 150 million shares left out of 1.1 billion, including the 892 million that are issued and any amount that are reserved for remaining convertible notes and executive compensation. So 150 million left. In my mind, if I'm Sean Goodman, who seems to be a very conservative steward of the company's cash liquidity and a worrywart, that's his job. He's an accountant. He's a CPA. His job is to worry and plan. If I was him, I would be thinking, oh gosh, 150 million doesn't give us a lot of flexibility if we get in a bind. He said, you know what, Adam? We're not going to be in a bind. We don't need to ask for more shares right now. Look at the cash flow. Look at the adjusted net income. Look at the adjusted EBITDA. Ooh, he said the word EBITDA. All the bears hate that word. I've been laughing my ass off this week. AMC can't make a positive net income. Adjusted EBITDA, I don't want to hear about it. All these people with their head in the sand, head in the clouds, I don't know what their problem is. Wall Street does not care if AMC had in Q2, if they had a one-time non-cash expense. Adjusted revenue, adjusted net income, and adjusted earnings were just fine for Q2. AMC booked, 190 million of positive free cash flow. It was a great quarter, and anyone saying otherwise is selling you a bill of goods because they don't want to admit the truth. I'm sorry, you bears that are watching. You can pipe in. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to boot you or block you, but you're not living in the world of reality. No one cares about a one-time non-cash expense. The operating results adjusted show the true potential of the business in a box office like this. And so Adam and Sean and team said, we don't need to do a reverse split. We don't need to ask for more shares. So tonight we're going to talk about what is on the proxy and just have a beer and do some Q&A. I think that when there are victories, even if they're small victories, it's okay to take a moment and pause and celebrate a win. And for me tonight, I mean, when I saw that proxy today, I got up and I started dancing around the room. And I don't get emotional about a trade. I said to my team in the Discord, for once they did the goddamn right thing. I mean, what? There's no more bad news until next year when we got to worry about a annual stockholder meeting again. At least Q3 and Q4, we got a nice solid window to trade in right now. Limited shares that they could utilize if they wanted to. No threat of additional shares coming. What's not to love right now? Tell me if you're bearish, what's not to love? Those of you that are bullish, you already get it. All right. What is on the proxy? I'm looking at this damn YouTube up here, and it is on the vertical. It's not showing like my face. It's just showing the proxy. I have it beautifully laid out in the vertical format on Streamlabs. For some reason, it didn't port up to YouTube, but whatever. It's not a big deal. If you're watching on vertical, go get on your desktop or open your YouTube app and watch it and turn your phone sideways. It'll look just fine. What is on the proxy? What is on the proxy? To approve an amendment to our 4th amended and restated certificate of incorporation to declassify the board. All right, what is that? It's been on the proxy for the past couple of years, I think. Declassify the board means that if you approve item number 1, you are allowing the entire board to be voted out, let's just say, in the same year. If you approve number 1, this is something that institutions are asking AMC for. Declassify your board. That's why they keep putting it up here. Because right now, it is not very shareholder friendly. The way you have a classified board and you can only replace a couple of them, 1, 2, 3 at a time. It would take you 3 years at least to replace the entire AMC board if you weren't happy with them, for example. So some people would say this is not shareholder friendly, the way it's set up, and you should approve item number 1 to declassify the board. Every year, all of them will come up for a vote, all at the same time. If you don't like them, you could kick them all out. If you like them, you could vote on each one individually. I don't care what you do. I'm just explaining why number 1 is on there and why it keeps coming up. It is so funny. We've seen our dear friends, the Popcorn Project gang. Every year they say, vote no to anything. If the company's recommending it, vote no. But kick the bums out. They're telling themselves to vote no for number 1, even though it doesn't let them kick the bums out, using their words. These guys, I mean, their ability to read is really astonishing how bad it is. But, that's your choice. I'm happy with the board. I will probably myself vote for item number 1. It doesn't really matter. If you're happy with the board, they're going to stay on. If you're not happy, then, at some point we could vote them out. If you vote for number 1, you could vote them out all at one time. If you don't care, then just don't vote on it or vote no. Does not matter to me. Just trying to explain it. If number 1 is approved, to elect our board of directors, the following nominees for terms expiring at the meeting. And so all of them will be voted on if number 1 is approved in 2027, a year from now. If proposal 1 is not approved, then you're just voting on 3 of them and they will come up for re-election in 2029. That's item number 2. All right. Exile Crisis says vertical wasn't bad. I see you fine. Huh. All right. Well, that's good to know. Maybe I should check my phone here in just a second. I'm looking at it up on the desktop up there in the YouTube studio. Item number 3, to approve an amendment to the certificate of incorporation to eliminate the prohibition against stockholders acting by written consent. Another proposal that the company's going to keep throwing at you because institutions keep asking for it and shareholders keep voting it down. I think people just don't understand it. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't have any strong thoughts about number 3, but I guess institutions see the fact that we have a prohibition against stockholders acting by written consent. They see that as not shareholder friendly. So they're going to keep asking AMC, and AMC is going to keep asking you until everybody gets tired of this or it passes. Number 4, to approve an amendment to remove the limitation on stockholders' ability to call special meetings. Same general thought as items 1 and 2. Institutions are asking for this. Doesn't matter to me. Number 5, to approve an amendment to the equity incentive plan to increase the number of shares subject to the plan from 25 million to 50 million. So I'm guessing, I haven't gone down and read item number 5, but I'm guessing here's how these things normally work. The executives, the bulk of their pay is through shares that are issued to them. And that plan is running low. And so the company is asking you to approve allocation of additional shares from the existing authorized shares, right? It's 1.1 billion authorized. There's about 150 million left. They want to allocate 25 million of them for probably the next year so that they can continue the normal executive compensation plan. If you vote against this, they will likely, and you can go read it because it's there every year, they will elect most likely to pay those bonuses in cash. So if you're angry about the bonuses and you vote no to number 5, you're not stopping anything, that you're just making the company spend cash. Whether that's $1 million, $5 million, $20 million, the executives are going to get paid. So you can elect to increase the authorized shares to the plan. And if not, the company's still going to take care of the executives. They will just do it in cash. And go read number 5 and you'll see what I'm talking about. Number 6, to ratify the appointment of Ernst & Young LLP, standard. Number 7, to conduct a non-binding advisory vote to approve the compensation plan. I would recommend that you guys go read the 40 pages or so. I didn't count them, but it's long, about the compensation plan that is in the proxy every year. It is your best chance to understand how the executives get compensated. There's constantly misinformation about how they get compensated. Adam Aaron's salary is $50 million. His salary is $1.5 million. Like, if you can't even start out the gate with the proper statement, I can't take you seriously. Go read and understand the compensation plan. And then you can vote on it. It's number 7, yes or no. However, just understand it is non-binding. We can express our pleasure or displeasure with how they're managing the company and what we think about their compensation. But at the end of the day, it's non-binding. The board's going to do what they want. And sometimes they listen and sometimes they don't. Number 8, to conduct a non-binding advisory vote on the frequency of the non-binding advisory vote to approve the compensation. I haven't even read that one, but that sounds hilarious. I wonder what they're suggesting that we change the frequency to. Maybe we'll get into that if we have time. But number 9, to approve one or more adjournments of the annual meeting if necessary. If there are insufficient votes, I don't think that's going to be a problem. So that's it. I mean, anything, if you were worried about anything, if you were listening to the Bears, oh man, every time Adam tweets in the past week, oh, just tell us you're going to reverse split. Just tell us you're going to ask for another billion shares. These people, man, like, what kind of life is that to wake up that angry every day? You Bears don't know. You don't know. You just wake up angry every day. And then you lie to yourself that the company had a bad quarter. I mean, there's no better evidence to me that the company is expecting good times ahead than not asking for more shares and not trying to bump the stock price up. I don't know how else you could look at it. Andrew Morgan says, let's all toast Lou from Wall Street. Oh, our good buddy Lou. What was that? What was that date, Lou, that you said I was going to be wrong on? March 3rd, Robot Godzilla. Tony Denaro, he's a shithead. Wait till Gary Gensler unleashes Robot Godzilla on March 3rd. I was like, tick tock, Lou. 30 days. We'll see you on March 3rd. What happened on March 3rd? Any Robot Godzilla? No. Lou was fun. He was funny, but he was rarely correct about any theories he had about Wall Street in general. Love his comedy, though. Alex says, oil going to $200. Fill up your gas tank today. Thank you for the reminder, Alex. What else? Oh, let's talk about the stock chart real quick. We've gone through the proxy. Let's just do a quick toast to a proxy. Maybe, tell me in the chat. Honest talk. Were you worried that something was going to be on there, like asking for more shares? Or were you convinced that it was going to be clear sailing? Let me know in the chat. Either way, cheers to clear sailing. The housing specialist says, Tony, how you doing, bro? I'm doing swell. Thank you. How are you doing? Did you see the earnings for Fix? I did not. FIX, is that right? Ooh. All right, stock chart. AMC, it was under pressure all day. Somewhere around here, I added some August $3 calls. They were only 10 cents each. And I'm a little bit bullish. Don't hate you people that don't like speculative plays. This is not for you. I'm a degen, but I do manage my position size. So if I get spanked, you're not going to hear me crying. I added some August $3 calls here. Not here. I should have done it here, but Spider-Man is what, about a week away? Numbers are looking phenomenal. Odyssey's doing good. I think, can I guarantee we test $3 by the first week in August? I can't guarantee it. Is it on my list of possibilities? It's on my list of possibilities, yeah. Man, when I look at the Discord, they got some crazy numbers up in there. I'm a little more like realist. I'll take me some crazy numbers. Go ahead. I got them August $3 calls just in case. I already closed out my September ones, if you're wondering, on July 20th. So when I closed out that, I was like, well, let me go buy some cheap short-term insurance. Just so I've booked a lot of profits on AMC and call options since the end of March. I could afford to throw a little bit on a bit of a degen gamble. Normally, if I'm buying calls, it's like $1.50 strike. But I did a bit of a degen because maybe people get excited about Spider-Man. Maybe the proxy is better than we thought. And, I got to what, middle of August? August 21st. If I don't see any strong movement by Monday or Tuesday after Spider-Man, I probably would exit those calls just because it's a time-based strategic bet. And if nothing happens, then I don't want to ride those calls all the way to end of August. If I want to ride something for a while, I would buy like now October or November $1.50s. This is a degen bet, hoping on a little price pump. We'll see what happens. DC Free Advice says, so 228 was the close. Nice pump at the end of the day. Mostly flat after hours. I agree with the people in the Discord that were saying, why didn't the Proxy news, why wasn't it more bullish? I don't know. I bought some shares after hours. I know other people in my Discord bought shares after hours. There were some of us that were worried about the risk of what would be on the Proxy. And we had kind of been winding down our risk. Now that the risk, I got the all clear flag, the green flag, if you saw it. For me, my take on it is that this is pretty damn bullish for the short term. There's not that really many headwinds left against us. So, yeah, I bought some shares after hours, and so did other people that I saw were commenting in Discord. But why didn't the price move up? I don't know. There's a lot of resistance. Look, between Pentwater, Discovery, and whoever bought those 95 million shares in the $200 million private placement, whatever their strategy is, they could be suppressing the price. This is not manipulation. It's not shorts. I mean, they could be short, but I don't know what their trading strategy is, but they could be applying some downward pressure. Well, it already ran up to $3 once. I think it could run up to $3 again. We'll see. I'm not too worried about the day today, and I'm not worried about AMC being obliterated. There's almost no shorts in this trade. It's like 6%. AMC is really a dumb short right now. Looking at the tailwinds behind us for box office the rest of this year, positive net earnings, positive free cash flow, debt wall moved to 2029. It's really a dumb short. I'm just going to be blunt. I know the haters and the bears are going to disagree. You're going to have to build me a pretty good case why it's a good short. It's just not. All of your talking points, the bears, all of your talking points have now been obliterated today. The only thing you have left is the company has a lot of debt. Okay, I get it. We talk about that all the time. It has a lot of debt, but they don't need to worry about it till 2029. And they will refinance it or restructure it before then. So now what do you got? DC Free Advice says, Tony, do you think the Proxy sends a message to the street that things are getting better at AMC? I do. Small Space Living says, you ready for Super Troopers 3 next month? I don't know that I've seen, or I don't recall watching the trailer for that one yet. I did watch the trailer yesterday for Clayface. Looks good. Wife said she wants to see it. And I watched the trailer for Other Mother, which comes out in October today. And I'll tell you, I'm going to be straight up. The trailer gave me a jump scare. If that is any indication, that could be a sleeper little movie there. Other Mother, a little horror movie. Excuse me. DC Free Advice says the $3 calls will print. Let's hope so. Good luck to us D-Gens. Anya says, wait a second, you are not telling people to sell Railtown and buy AMC. Anya, yeah, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up, Anya. I don't give, buy, or sell advice on any ticker. I will talk to you about what I'm doing. Don't ask me what to do. I will never tell you what to do. And I certainly won't try and move you from one ticker into another. That's like the dumbest thing. Tony wants to move you from this play to the... No, I don't. I want you to have a diversified portfolio and pick stuff that you believe in and invest in what you believe in. There's no hot money moving from ticker to ticker. We don't have time to manage that. We ain't trying to move 100% of our portfolio from this to that to this. We got a long-term plays. We got a little hopper of little speculative plays. And each one is in their own silo, and that's it. And then you make up your mind what your risk tolerance is and which one of those buckets you like. I like long-term plays of profitable companies with growing revenue and growing net earnings and positive free cash flow because I don't have to babysit those. I can analyze them, find a good entry, Set it and forget it. For example, Cinemark, Marcus Corp, in this same entertainment sector. I'm up 55% on each of those or so from the end of last year. Set it and forget it. How often do you think I look at those stocks? Once a quarter, maybe. Because I already did the DD. They're long-term plays. I believe in the box office for the long term. They're profitable companies. I don't need to babysit them. That's just in the entertainment sector. There's other tickers we're invested in other sectors, a properly diversified portfolio. The ones that we tend to babysit, the ones you see me talk a lot about on social media, are the ones that need babysitting. The speculative plays, the pre-revenue, the cash-strapped, the upside-down balance sheet. Those need your focus. You need to pay attention every day. But I certainly don't want you hopping from one to another. You could, but I'm not going to give you that instruction. Everybody's got their own plan. You figure out what works for you. I know it works for me. Diversified portfolio, other bucket set up for speculative plays. The speculative plays provide alpha. They provide higher than market returns if you get a good entry and manage them closely. Not all of them, but a majority of them. We've made hundreds of % on AMC since the end of March. Why do you watch AMC? I have not been even invested in the company for almost 2 years, but I report on it, I watch it, and I re-entered the trade at the end of March. And we've been knocking it out of the park because of the due diligence. Speculative trades require you really pay attention. And by pay attention, I mean not reading Reddit. Reading the filings, think like the CFO, think like the institutions, think like the bondholders. What are they strategizing? What are their motivations? And how is that going to affect my trade? How can I piggyback? If I can learn to think like them, how can I piggyback on their way of thinking to optimize my timing? It's really that simple. I wish I could just take my brain and put it in yours. It's like you open the matrix up. These are very risky speculative trades. But if you can see inside the matrix, then you don't pay attention to social media. That's all just, it becomes comedy and entertainment. And a bunch of people that hate you because you're winning. Your fellow longs will hate you because you're winning. That is my lot in life. I get it. People get mad that I wait for a good entry. They get mad that I exit in a run-up and then wait for it to come back down and rebuy it again. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. I'm taking care of me, my portfolio, and my family. If you're content with what you're doing, you wouldn't be upset at what I'm doing. Right? Is that fair? If you're content with what you're doing, you would not be upset at what I'm doing because it would have no effect on you. I'm talking about ways to make money on these trades. If you're in the Discord, you are surrounded by people that are making money on these trades every single day, every single week. It's not impossible. You just got to change your mindset. You got to get around a better group of people. You got to stop listening to the nonsense. These companies are tradable. If you believe in the box office, there's even a good trade on AMC. I'm long the stock. I'm long call options. I'm a little bit of a degen, but we're intelligent about it. Really that easy. DC Free Advice says social media hates AMC winners. Everyone else loves a winner. I don't get it, DC Free Advice. Like, I love to celebrate other people's wins. Like, there's some penny stocks that I follow, and they had a 10 or 15% run after getting crushed 98%. I'm happy they had a 10 or 15% run. I hope someone bought the bottom and sold on that 15% run up. even if they got crushed 98%, and I told them that was going to happen, if you bought the bottom and then got a 15% run and captured it, great. All we want is to see people win. All of these people getting mad at winners really just is confusing to me. Ooh, Tech We Love, how you doing? How you doing? I invited our friend Big Mike to join in, but I haven't seen any messages from him. Let me check. I invited two Big Mikes. I invited Bullish Mike and our new Bullish Mike. That dude, man, I guess if your name's Mike, you're just automatically way more bullish than me. I'm bullish, but I feel like I'm pretty, I fit in the DGEM bucket pretty well, but these guys are really going all out. Alexander says, are you covering Cinemark's earnings on the 30th? I will cover Cinemark and Marcus Corp. They both are reporting on the 30th. As I said, I do have I love the entertainment sector. I go to movies all the time. I go to AMC to watch my movies. But since I'm following the box office and I report on the sector, I do have investments in other tickers. Not IMAX right now, unfortunately, although I have traded it in the past. At the end of last year, we've swung trade Cinemark and Marcus Corp and IMAX several times over the past several years in the Discord. I missed a good re-entry on IMAX and then it got away from me. So it's okay. Cinemark, I rebought. I'm up 50.04%. And Marcus Corp, I am up 55.98% since the end of last year. I think one I bought in October and one in December. AMC, like I said, we've already knocked it out of the park several times, several home runs since the end of March in the last 100 days, and I'm on now swing trade number 3. Now that the proxy is out, now that the proxy tells me, Tony, this looks pretty damn bullish, I'm gonna wait and see what happens. I'm long, and let's see what happens, and go see some goddamn movies. So I will be covering both companies' earnings on the 30th, and we covered IMAX this morning. I almost forgot about IMAX. I was up since 5:30 with the baby, and all of a sudden I realized, shit, it's 7:35 and the IMAX call just started. So I had it set up. I logged in real quick and we got that live running. Good to hear Rich Gelfond talk. One of the more interesting questions was, why don't you make more projectors? And he gave the 70 mil. He gave a long explanation about there's just not enough locations that are set up to handle something that big. And the expense and the return on investment probably doesn't make sense. So I guess we're going to deal with the Odyssey being sold out till September on IMAX. Mr. Premium of the option says swing trading is fine, but hoping for a yellowing moonshot is absolutely ridiculous. I don't criticize people that are hoping for a moonshot. I don't criticize them. I might not agree with them. The short interest is 6%. For me on my channel, I don't even want to hear the word short squeeze if reported short interest is under 20%. That's been a long time rule on the channel. So if you'd have to tell me, Tony, I believe in things that are not backed by data. I believe there's a trillion naked shorts and the SEC is turning a blind eye along with the FBI and the DOJ. If that's you, that's fine. That's you. You do you. I'm over here doing me and we're doing just fine. I don't go stalk people that believe in a trillion naked shorts. I don't care what anybody believes. I can tell you what I'm focused on is data, and it's been working just fine. And if there is a MOAS, Mr. Premium of the option, a YOLO and moonshot, if there is, I haven't missed one yet. You know what? I didn't miss 2021. I didn't miss early 2023 when Keith Gill came back. Made 1,000% in that Keith Gill run. Thank you very much, Roaring Kitty. So I'm not worried about missing anything. These people use the fear of, but what if you miss it? Pay attention, you won't miss it. Set some alerts. Have a plan. Get up early. Stay up late. If you're worried about missing it, there are ways you cannot miss it. I'm not worried about missing anything. I let that go years ago. People in every ticker, this is not a criticism against AMC ticker, AMC followers. People in every ticker tell you, but what if you miss it? You won't be able to buy back in. Yes, I can. It's a narrative control. It's a psychological control that they use on people. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. But I know in my own heart, I'm up early, I'm up late, I check the filings, I pay attention, I have alerts set. I'm not going to miss anything. I might miss the absolute bottom. I might miss a run from $2 to $3, but if it goes from 3 to 12, do you think I care? No, I don't care. I don't care. You just need to know when to pull the trigger. Mr. Premium says the point is promoting MOAS is simply going to blow up numerous accounts. I mean, it already has. It already has. That's why the people promoting it hate me, because I moved on past that. I've said this before, and I just want to share this with you guys. If you're new here, maybe first time here, we all make mistakes, right? I made mistakes. I make mistakes. But one thing that I don't do is make a mistake and then double down on it. If I make a mistake, if the market tells me, because the price went against what I was thinking, then I step back and say, well, shit, I made a mistake. What can I learn from this? What can I do better? What can I do different? And so I had to let a lot of things go a few years back. And it has been nothing but smooth sailing. Nothing but green pastures. No crying. No complaining. No space calls. No, I don't care what shorts say. I don't care what longs say. I just do me. I look at the data, I read the filings. And then I will try and figure out how to add the TA as a layer on top of that. But really, you know, on these speculative plays, the filings are your foundation. I see people give them price targets all the time. Oh, the POI this, the POI that. Ken Griffin is working with Ryan Cohen and Adam Marin. I told you this was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen because I read the filing and I could see the date and I could see what they worked out with the lenders. This is not rocket science. You don't need to spend $1 million investigating the algorithm of BlackRock. All you got to do is read, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that's going to happen is very well telegraphed. And now we got a new filing, a Proxy, which is waving the green fucking flag. Oh, and I will add this just for the really bullish people, because my Discord always reminds me, Tony, you said you're worried about the Proxy, but isn't Adam Aaron buying shares a few weeks back? Isn't that bullish? Yes. Yes, it is bullish. I've said for years, the day that an executive puts his own money down to go long a stock, you should pay attention. But the bears say, well, he just bought that to trap the apes one more time. Okay. Show me. By what? Not asking for more shares, not asking for a reverse split, booking record free cash flow, record adjusted EBITDA, dropping the leverage ratio to 6.5, dropping the interest rate 1% on 1.9 billion of term loans, dropping the interest rate 3.5% on the senior secured notes. How is he trapping the apes? They are doing what they need to do to fix the business. And he put his own money on the line. And so far, from what I've seen, that's because he knew that things were about to get better. Could I be wrong in the future? Sure. I mean, I can always be wrong. But for me, that's pretty bullish sign. Dream Tank says, no crying in the casino. That's right, my friend. No crying. Whatever tickers you're invested in, if you make a mistake and it goes not the way you thought, I don't want to hear about take the executives to court. We're going to wait 5 years for a bankruptcy case and then they're going to make us whole. No, they're not. We're going to sue FINRA and the SEC and no, you lost. Figure out what in you told you to ignore the filings and the financials. What inside of you told you to ignore all relevant data and then learn from that mistake? That is your only hope. Please, I beseech you, if you're making mistakes over and over, if you've lost 250,000 in 11 penny stocks in the last 5 years, I beseech you, step the fuck back and ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Because the answers are within, ladies and gentlemen. The answer is from the man in the mirror. You're not taking the opportunity of a loss to teach yourself a lesson. The greatest gift you have to improve your outcomes is a mistake. I make mistakes. I try to learn from them and not make them again. I see way too many people make a mistake and then double down out of pride, out of narcissism, out of inability to admit that they're wrong. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this certain subset of people. I'm pretty arrogant at times. I'm pretty set in my ways. But look, losing money on a trade is pretty humbling, and I don't want to have that happen again. So when I fuck something up, I'm going to stop and do a debrief. What did I do wrong? How can I make sure that doesn't happen again? The price is always telling you something. Right, Anya? Anya says, so AA guaranteed no dilution. That is kind of a misnomer, Anya. Let's talk about that for a second, because someone asked me that in the Discord today. On the proxy, we have no reverse split and no request for authorized shares. 2 thumbs up. 2 major torpedoes dodged. Thank God, Sean. You listened to our prayers, Sean. Thank you. It's the CFO making all these calls, by the way. Thank you, Sean. Sincerely, from me to you. Did they guarantee no dilution? No, they have not guaranteed no dilution, Anya. The company has about 150 million shares left. They are on a current standstill agreement that was part of the $200 million private placement a few weeks ago. And that standstill agreement means AMC agreed not to dilute or issue any shares until about August 8th. So if you're looking for a guarantee, all guarantees are out the window after August 10th, which is a Monday. But then you got to ask yourself, why? Why would they dilute on August 10th or any time after that? Is there a pressing cash need right now? No. The liquidity's fine. Box office is good. cash balance is okay. Free cash flow's positive for the year. And the debt wall's been moved to 2029. So there's no pressing need for immediate dilution. Now, if I was the CFO, they don't even have a proxy. Proxy. They don't have a prospectus out there. There's no ATM open. However, if the price were to run up, let's say it were to run up to $3, $4, $6, $10. So pick your number. It doesn't matter. They could do another private placement after August 8th because the leash will be off. So that's the only caveat I'm going to tell you. I can't agree with the statement that there's a guarantee of no more dilution. They're going to analyze things as they happen. And they have a business to run, and they've got a balance sheet to fix, and they have a job to do. So if it runs and they issue some more shares, then they're doing their job to fix the balance sheet. Ace Tree Care says people listening to clowns telling them AMC going to 500 and they're getting wrecked. I don't know what to say about that. I don't listen to any of those people, so I don't know who's saying that or what justification they have. Generally, in the past, when I saw people talking about that, they don't have any data. They're just, here, look at this thing that I believe. Look at this theory that I believe is true. And therefore, if I have a theory, it must mean the price is going to $500. I'm not interested in some YouTuber's theory. They don't have any hard data. Like I said, I'm doing just fine here, looking at data, swing trade in the stock, buy cheap, sell into run-ups, rinse and repeat. And we haven't missed a big move up yet. Not a single one. And I will not miss the next one. I'm not trying to become a millionaire off of a speculative stock. It's one ticker of many. Mr. Premium of the option says it is considered a penny stock, going to need to do something soon. Still wondering how many times diluted. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. It's under $5 by some measure. That can be considered a penny stock on the NYSE. No argument for me there. That was why I was thinking it wouldn't be unreasonable for them to ask for a reverse split, but they didn't. Maybe they think they're going to get over $5 just by box office growing. We'll see. It's entirely possible. If they're not diluting and earnings is growing because box office is growing over the next 2 years, there's a real chance that 2026 is going to be over $10 billion. I ran the numbers again today. If we need about 2.63 billion domestic box office in Q3 and Q4 to break even. And that also will get us just over $10 billion. Sean said the company needs over 10.4 billion domestic box office to be free cash flow positive for the year. The numbers I was sharing with the Discord before someone brought that up was about 10.5 billion. So then someone said, what did Sean say? And I looked it up. Yeah, Sean's in agreement with my spreadsheet. So good. Maybe we get over $5 in the next year or two. Sustained. I mean, there's going to be volatility. That's why we're here, right? But is it a $5 stock right now? Not by Wall Street standards. I think the highest analyst price target I've seen is $4. Alicia Reese, I think, over at Wedbush. But is $5 possible down the road if box office grows, free cash flow grows, debt, interest expense drops, debt gets refinanced and interest expense gets dropped even more? Yeah, there's a lot of things that are on the table in the world of possibilities, the multiverse of outcomes. You could have your bearish multiverse. You could have your bullish ones. I think everything is possible. If things go well, there's a lot of good potential positive outcomes. It does rely on box office growing. Anya says, so what made some in the Discord buy today specifically? Some people were out of the trade, Anya, completely because of the run-up in the past few days and the proxy potentially dropping as soon as the 28th. Somehow we got it today, the 23rd, which is cool. So people that were ultra conservative risk managers that were worried about the proxy and were happy to take gains in the past couple days had exited the trade, and then they rebought in after hours today. Others were just generally bullish, already had a position and wanted to add because they know Spider-Man's coming and the risk of dilution or reverse split is now off the table. Sorry, not the risk of dilution. The risk of the company asking for more shares is off the table for the foreseeable future. Short term, let's call it the next year. Tech We Love says, Tony, can you talk about what you like to buy at, what IV you like to buy at, pullback to daily 50 moving average? Are you in my Discord, Tech We Love? Because we talk about this a lot, and you'll notice that a lot of my buys are when the stock is dipping below the 50 on the daily. Right here. Right here. So that is one primary thing that I look at. Everybody else is panicking. I don't panic. I mean, I don't ignore risk, but I'm looking at the financials and I'm looking at the box office, and those moments to me seem like overdone bearishness, and so I buy into them. It's really that simple. You got to understand the financials. You got to understand the filings, who's doing what. And then your next layer on top of that is the chart. You don't start with the chart and ignore the other stuff. That's going to fuck you up. I mean, you could do that. I mean, you could have just ignored all the filings and copied me here. Oh, it ran under the 50 EMA, and so I should buy. You could do that, but the comfort I have in doing that comes from understanding the box office trajectory and the financials. It gives me a little bit more of the feeling like at least you got an edge. You feel like you got a chance. You're taking a gamble. I get it. Look, imagine all this down, down, down. I was out of the trade right here. I sold into this run up, and then I waited from mid-April to mid-May. And then boom, we've dropped under the 50 and I bought. It was patience. It was understanding the box office. It was the comfort of knowing this is going to be a great Q2. And then we ran to $3. So hang on one second. I'm going to grab a cerveza. We are celebrating tonight, so I'm going to have two. Forgive me. Pop top again. Our Daniel says, I'm just going to throw this out there. Tony casted as the next Batman. That would be cool. If you know anybody who has some some parts that'll get me SAG-AFTRA qualified. Let me know. What else we got here? Refinancing will save $100 million a year in interest expense. Manicio, what's up? Yeah, right now we know for sure from the balance sheet restructuring. Hopefully you guys watched my video a couple days ago. But if you didn't, even I know some people on my Discord didn't. 67 million is what we're expecting to be phased in. A lot of people are going to get this wrong. Phased in over the next 6 months. 16 million immediately from the balance sheet repair, paying off the bonds tomorrow. That savings will go into effect after tomorrow. And then there was 51 additional million from the total leverage ratio dropping under 6.5x on trailing 12-month EBITDA. Divided by total debt, I think it is. At any rate, doesn't matter. It's under 6.5. That means about 38 million in savings on the term loan, which is around $1.98 billion. 38 million in annual savings that will begin sometime. I had said September. The company's got to drop the 10Q and then send a certification of the total leverage ratio over to the lender. We got the 10Q today. So maybe that savings could start as soon as early to mid-August. And then the other bucket of savings is going to come from the 2029 senior secured notes, $877 million, I believe, which is going to get a 3.5 point reduction on the rate. That won't kick in until January 1st. But still, that's a lot of savings. I think some of y'all are mad that Sean told Adam that they needed to do a $200 million private placement a few weeks ago and pay off the 2027 bonds. But what if I spun it to you this way? If you're mad about that, if you're sore about that, let me just allow you to consider another way to think about it, because this kind of popped in my brain this morning. What if Sean knew that we were this close in Q2 to being under 6.5x total leverage? And he couldn't do anything about adjusted EBITDA because that's baked in. The Q2 numbers were baked in. The box office and the revenue and the expenses, there's nothing he could do about that. But he could have said, Adam, we're this close to dropping under 6.5x. And if we could just pay off those 2027 bonds, because total leverage ratio is a factor of your adjusted EBITDA and the total debt. If we could reduce that debt, it would be just enough to get us under 6.5x. And we got the bonus of the debt wall is completely moved to 2029. And Adam, we're going to save $68 million a year in interest income just from this one move. Would that sway your thinking a little bit? I mean, that's, from a CFO perspective, that's a pretty compelling story to, in one quick, some people would say painful, $200 million private placement, you restructure by existing debt covenants your two biggest debt instruments. It's pretty big. Next step, meet with the lenders and start talking about what can we do to Moody's, S&P, what can we do? What do we need to do to get a better credit rating? Well, we know what they need to do. And then once we get a better credit rating, we got all these lenders lined up to give us even better structure on the debt, reduce the interest expense even more. What do they need to do to get a better credit rating? Probably, if I talk to my friends in the bond market, the most logical answer, now there might be other answers, I could be wrong, but the traditional logical answer would be the company needs to book multiple quarters of positive free cash flow, positive adjusted net income. And the market and the rating agencies need to believe that box office is on a growing trend. So if all of those things happen, box office is growing, AMC continues to book positive free cash flow and a positive adjusted net income, then I'd say it's almost a slam dunk at some point, 2, 3, 4 quarters from now. There could be a serious discussion about Moody's or S&P bumping the credit up from a triple C or whatever it is to a low B. That's the logical answer. There might be some talks already going on. AMC, I'm certain, talks to the ratings agencies on a regular basis. Once a quarter, I don't know. It's not just a one-sided conversation. So maybe, look, reducing debt on the balance sheet also helps that decision. Deleveraging helps the credit rating decision. So yes, Manicio, a very long answer to your remark that there could be further interest expense reduction. And there needs to be. I mean, I was looking back at our last 2 profitable quarters in 2023. The interest expense back then was $93 million. We've been carrying, even though the company's been paying down the debt, they've been getting some pretty shitty deals. And the interest expense has ballooned over $20 million a quarter, $115 million in the last 3 years. We got to get it down. We got to get that number down, and it will be going down. It will be fully baked in by January 1st. Q1 will be the first quarter where all of the savings is baked in. But any progress is good progress, and I'm already modeling Q3 based on reduced interest expense. And I think I told the Discord today what the break-even number is. $2.63 billion right here. $2.63 billion is, I'm not adding in anything for non-cash expense related to the fair value of the bifurcated embedded derivatives. I'm not counting that. I'm just like, if we take away all the noise, there's only a little bit of exchangeable notes left anyways. But if we take away all the noise, $2.63 billion to be profitable on a GAAP basis. On a GAAP basis. Paul says, I see tons of young people going to the movies and most people are buying food. It's great to see, barring another pandemic. The future looks bright. Hopefully politics get out of movies. I know, right? Manicio says the guy playing Ronald Reagan in the new Angel movie looks nothing like him. Who played Ronald Reagan? It was there was a movie recently. Man, I can't think of the guy's name. I don't know if there's a new movie you're talking about or if you're looking at an old one. Anyways, Paul says, Anya says, I got in Angel, couldn't resist with young George Washington. Great movie. Dennis Quaid. Thank you, Chris. Yes. I love Dennis Quaid. He's such a good actor. And I thought he did a good job in that Ronald Reagan movie, too. Paul says, I suspect that surprise box office success for movies like Backrooms and Obsession will light a fuse in Hollywood. Hey, you guys want to see something real quick? I was looking at box office. 720 million so far for Q3. Almost, I'm thinking for sure we're going to be over $1 billion in July. Anybody disagree? Someone was fussing with me in the comments this morning that Q3 and Q4 are going to suck. I don't think they're going to suck. There's easily a multiverse outcome where they're break even or profitable. And I think that they have a very good chance of being profitable. I'm not going to say I could rule out that they won't be big enough, but I think both look pretty good. I keep on checking my numbers every week. I go through my analysis. I go through every movie for the next 6 months every week. You're not going to find too many people. I'm not the one you want to go up against saying what box office is going to do. Let's just put it that way. You're going on emotion, most likely. I'm looking at numbers every week and updating those numbers. And I've been doing this for years. Do I always get it perfect? No. But those of you who've been following me, you know my box office forecasts are not always popular, but they're generally correct. And I'm telling you, I think there is a very good chance that Q3 and Q4 will be break even or profitable. I'd lean towards profitable. Here's what I wanted to show you though real quick. I was actually, because it just quarterly, wait, what was I looking at? I was looking at some number. Maybe I had my settings wrong. I was looking at some number that had Toy Story 5 as number 1 for the quarter. I must have been smoking crack or something. By quarter, by year, no. Quarter to date. I don't even know what I was clicking on now. Now it's not saying that. Oh well, never mind. Daily, quarterly. 720 million though. Pretty damn good. Odyssey number 1, 181 million. Minions, Toy Story, Moana, Young Washington, Supergirl. We got Spider-Man coming up. Evil Dead Burn, Obsession. Anyways. I thought I had a story for you about Toy Story 5, but now I don't know what I was looking at. Anya says OTF wants to join. All right, where is he? Where is he, Anya? Is he in the chat? Mike, also I see Mike Sly in there. If you want to join, let me know. I'll shoot you over a DM. Collab cam. We're trying out this collab cam. Start collab cam. Copy. All right, Mike, try and click on the link that I sent you earlier. Mike OTF. And if Bullish Mike Sly wants to join in, let me know and I'll send you a DM on X. People are probably tired of hearing about me. Mike says he's still guessing about 2.5 billion for Q3. Q3. I have updated some numbers, Mike, and I have 2.677 for Q3. But, you know, we're way early in Q3 for me to say high confidence on that. We shall see. Sly says, I'm on my cell tonight. Laptop isn't working. Just watching tonight and making side comments. All right, that's fine. We're not going to be here that much longer anyways. I just wanted to hang out with you guys and have a beer because like I said earlier, we don't have too many victories. They're going to start coming. But when they happen, even if they're small victories, I think it's okay to pause and celebrate. You know, we're not going to be dancing here. We're not going to be putting on moon helmets and yelling at the camera and all that nonsense. Act like you've been there before. But guys, I'm not joking. If you were at all worried about the company asking for more authorized shares or a reverse split, that is not on the proxy statement. And to me, that is bullish. Sean Goodman told Adam, we don't need any more shares than what we have right now. Chris says, I know it's an AMC live stream, but do you have a quick thought about BYND? Not tonight, my friend. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. We have a Beyond room in the Discord if you want to come in and chat. I don't think any of us are in BYND, and I helped push Anya over the line to getting. She was in the red, and I think she was able to listen and get out in the green. Anya, you can tell the story in the chat. OTF says he's joining. I have Collab Cam open. I'm waiting for a notification that you're joining, Mike. Anya says, I'm a Beyond survivor. Thank you to Tony. Fritter says, that is bullish. I was very concerned about them asking for more shares. I was at least cognizant that it was a risk. That's how I'm going to, the nicest way I'm going to say it. I know there were probably people that were convinced they weren't going to, and there were certainly bears that were convinced they were going to ask for some naughty things. And they didn't. And for me, that is very bullish. That is Sean Goodman telling Adam, we're good enough. We're good enough for the moment. Tanya says, vegetarian husband loaded up on Beyond was down $1,800. Tony said, now is the time. Came out up $2,000. That's a hell of a turnaround, Anya. You had a $3,800 swing and got out with the profit. Right at that moment, we were covering the stock for those key couple days when it was squeezing, and you got out. And we watched a lot of people write it down into the toilet, right, Anya? Right after that. Oh, man. I mean, I only covered it for the lulls. But for those of you that were able to turn around a losing position to a winning trade and get out before it tanked, I'm glad we were there for you for a couple days. Carl says, I never get tired of your DD and thoughts. All right. While we're waiting on Mr. Mike, does anybody want to hear about my little chat about GameStop? I haven't done a GameStop video in over a month, probably. Now, we talk about it in the Discord all the time. And I gave them a few weeks ago kind of like my bullish price targets for GameStop. If we wanted to untether everything and just be mega bulls for a second. And I'm not talking $60 or $1,000 like the cult leaders. Just like, look, here's a rational analysis. If we analyze the earnings and take the assets, what's the sum of the parts analysis? I did do that in Discord for folks a few weeks ago. I don't have time to make a video right now with the baby on everything that I wish I had time to. But I do keep Discord updated with my due diligence. And I think about GameStop a lot because I'm invested in the stock. But I ran the, and to be fair, there's been a lot going on with GameStop. If I made a video every day about GameStop, the information's going to change by the next day. I don't like continually having to update my due diligence to you guys on video. It takes a lot of time to put a thoughtful, well-edited, with edits and cuts, so that I provide you factual information while respecting your time. I cut out all the ums and ahs, wink, wink. Because that takes a lot of time, I just go in the Discord for those that are in the GameStop room, and I provide my stream of consciousness. And I look at it a lot. I look at it unemotionally. I look at it from the perspective of how is Wall Street valuing this stock? Why is it at $21? Remember, if something is not going the way that you think it should, then you are making a mistake. And you can yell and rant at the camera and be angry. Why won't Wall Street give it the valuation that I think it should be? $60 going to $1,000. Because you don't know how to analyze stocks. You don't understand how Wall Street is looking at it. Doesn't mean that your valuation might not be incorrect in 5 years, but you're asking today, why is the price at $21? If you don't understand why, you haven't stopped to really learn anything about finance or stock analysis. So my current long position in GameStop, I've been swing trading the stock profitably for years. My current cost basis, when I re-entered the trade in June, I sold on May 1st or whatever date that was, when the eBay rumor came out and it shot up to $28, $29. I exited the trade. I re-entered about a month later at $21.20. So we're right back down to my cost basis. And as we reapproach it, I was thinking really hard this week about, you can see April 22nd is when I sold. I had that and 5-1. April 22nd, I sold partial at $25.75 as we topped out here. And then May 1st, I exited completely at $26.75 and $27.75. The old bracket theory, right? If you got a good entry and it's going through the supply zones, have some brackets. I'm trying to be better about having brackets to allow for upside. I waited until June 23rd. I rebought right about here as it hit the demand zone, and we're coming back down. We're coming back down, babies. And so I'm asking myself, Tony, do you want to buy some more? Yeah, I'd like to buy some more. We're getting real close. We were within 1 penny today of my existing cost basis. 21.21 was the low today. And so, look, this whole analysis of the eBay deal, a lot of people like to simplify it, assume only the most positive outcome. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to simplify it. I'm not going to assume there's only one potential outcome. There's a bunch of potential outcomes, and the market is factoring that into the price right now, and that's what people don't get. The market is maybe even factoring in the most pessimistic outcome, and that's fine. If they are factoring in a high level of uncertainty and they're not super happy about a highly leveraged NewCo That's fine. I want to understand how they're looking at it so that if I'm going to trade the stock, I can estimate, well, what the hell, how low are they going to drive it down to? Because in my mind, if you were in the Discord several weeks ago, you already know my fair value analysis of GameStop is considerably higher. Look, what's considerably? 26, 30. My analysis of the fair value of GameStop, looking at if operating adjusted net income holds, and we apply a reasonable multiple to that, and then we add some additional value for the assets, cash, eBay shares, and Bitcoin, I think that the price is undervalued at 21 bucks. That is my analysis, and I think it's backed up by defendable math. There's a lot of people telling you GameStop should be worth 60 bucks. They don't have any defendable math. They'd be laughed out of any serious discussion. I asked, how do I know my math is defendable? I posted this morning to the bears and said, attack my thesis. Here's how I'm valuing the stock. Attack it, please. You know, I don't care. Tell me what am I missing? And a lot of bears responded. And that pissed a lot of the ultra bulls off. Well, you only have bears responding to your posts. I fucking wanted them to. Like, what part of Dear Bears criticize my analysis? What part of that did you not get? If I can have the bears attack my thesis and it holds water, then I know that my entry idea is pretty safe. Am I giving you a price target for what GameStop could go to? Was that the point of my post? Am I trying to price anchor the high end? No. I'm only looking at GameStop like, if I'm going to buy at 21 bucks or 21.20 or add to my position, and if all of my most bullish outcomes are wrong, what is the most conservative upside? And the most conservative defendable upside came in around $23 to $26. For me, that's fine. If I get in at 20, 21, 21.20, $21.20, and the upside is $26, I'm good with that. I believe there is potential for it to go higher. I also understand there's risk for it to go lower. I'm not stupid. But if I'm going to play the game of speculating in a stock with a lot of volatility and a lot of uncertainty right now, with eBay considering they're trying to, GameStop considering they're trying to buy eBay, it adds a lot of uncertainty. I want to de-risk my entry. I want to have an entry that even the bears can't say that's a bad valuation. And none of them did. A couple of them pointed out, well, what if the trading card volume doesn't hold up? Yeah, I get it. That's true. What if eBay's price falls? I get that too. There are risks. Nothing's risk-free. But if I'm going to put my money on the line and I make certain assumptions like eBay's not going to tank, and at least for the next 2 or 3 quarters, trading cards are going to hold even or go up, what's my risk? What's my risk buying at 21 bucks? In my mind, almost none now, because no bear had a convincing argument. The only ones that were mad at my post were the bulls, because I didn't tell them it was going to 60 bucks. But the point of my post is not to give you a price target. I'm literally laying out my analysis for you to pick apart what is a safe entry. Look, there are bears that are telling you GameStop's going to 17 bucks. That is not me. My current cost basis is $21.20. Could it go to 17? Yeah, it could. That's not in my forecast. If it dropped below 21.20, based on my analysis of the fair value, conservatively, I would add if it went below. If there's no news, if it's just market gyrations, I would, right now, knowing what I know, I would add if it fell under 21 bucks. I had a limit buy today that didn't execute. So all of you who are thinking I'm trying to spread negativity, get off the Moon Boy soapbox. I'm not trying to give anybody a price target of what it could go to. That you missed the point. We're trying to identify a safe entry. This is not a buy every day at any price channel. This is not a load up on warrants channel. Get a reasonable entry, do the DD, understand the fair value, and then you take a reasonable bet. This is a speculative stock because there's a lot of uncertainty. They've got what do I call it? Basically a bulletproof balance sheet. There's not risk of GameStop going bankrupt. It's just what's the best entry for optimal outcome. It's that simple. I had someone block me today, another GME long, block me because I'm asking the bears to tear apart my entry. They couldn't. The bears couldn't defeat me. I use the word defeat tongue in cheek. Like I said, there were a few bears that had some reasonable thoughts, and go find the post on X and read it. I think it's some good discussion. Sorry to the crybabies, other longs who can't handle honest discussion. I'm not scared to talk to bears. It makes me a better trader. Makes my outcomes more optimal. Anya says, Tony, would you rather ONDS or GME? God, that's tough, Anya. I would say ONDS is more speculative. GameStop's got a fortress of a balance sheet. And I'm in the red on ONDS, so 12%. But there is good upside for ONDS if they grow the business, if the wars continue, if security concerns around the globe continue and people need drones and anti-drone technology. I think ONDS can be a good long-term trade. You already know I'm in ONDS for many years. I've already told you guys that. I don't even look at it from day to day. That's how little I care. I did the DD, I established a position. I have alerts set. If it drops, I'll reevaluate if I need to add. And I watch once a quarter. They're on a growth plan. They're acquiring other companies. A lot of moving parts. It's more risky than GameStop. So I don't know that I'd rather be in both. Which one would I choose, Anya? I don't choose. I have a diversified portfolio. Different sectors, different analysis. You hope you make the best decisions in each sector, and then you see what happens. Some of them work out, some of them don't. Benicio says, Michael Burry gave RC a bunch of options to buy companies that made sense. Yeah, I mean, my analysis was very similar to Michael Burry. I sold before Michael Burry did, Benicio. I sold my GameStop on the evening of May 1st. He waited till Monday. I was right there with him. In fact, he called me and said, Tony, what do you think I should do? I said, Michael, you know as well as I, we were hoping that Ryan would buy cash flowing business at a discount in a market crash. And this motherfucker went out and identified a fine business, eBay, but he's paying a premium for it. That's not really what we had in mind. So I sold that Friday night. I think that was a Friday, right? Michael said he was going to wait till Monday, and then he told y'all on Monday that he was going to sell, and he did. I was out of this position. If you're in the Discord, you already know this. I posted it live as it happens. The GameStop people, why didn't he tell us about it for 3 weeks? Because you're crybabies. I don't want to hear you whining. I post my trades in Discord. I said it immediately after I did it. It's logged and archived. I have trade tickets to back up anything I say. Why didn't you tell us? 'Cause you're fucking crybabies. You're man children. You don't want to know when someone sells. So why do I owe you that? I don't. Go figure it out on your own. If you really cared, you'd be in the Discord. Where we have no nonsense, no emotions, no bias, cold hard facts. Discord is free. Link is in just about every video or live description. The basic Discord is free. Anybody's welcome. I'm not often in the free rooms. There are other rooms behind a paywall. If you go click on the link, you can choose one of those options. If you want to support the type of content you're hearing tonight, the type of analysis you're hearing tonight, I know Anya often says she paid for her entire 1-year VI membership in one trade. My best advocates are the people that are in the Discord. I don't talk about it much because most people aren't ready for honest discussion. I don't want moon boys in my Discord. I want people that are serious. You could look, I trade a lot of the same stocks as you do. I don't trade them the same way. I don't analyze them the same way. And I'm not here to be your friend or to coddle you or to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you how I am trading it and what I am looking at, and it's going to hurt. But the results speak for themselves. Wired Ape says, Tony, I want to thank you for going to the movies every month. I really appreciate it. What's up, brother? I need to update my movie list. Let's do that while y'all ask some more questions. Because we went to go see, I'm really falling behind, Wired 42. This is 43. I'm falling behind because of the baby. Let me pull up my AMC app. I forget what day we saw. What do we see? The Odyssey, July 18th, number 44. I'm getting behind. It's very frustrating. You guys know I love movies. I should be at about 80 movies by now. But with the baby, it's very tough. I was even talking with my wife tonight. I was like, could we find some earmuffs to put on the baby and take them with us? And then I checked Grok and it said, no, don't do that. Don't do that, bro. So I'm going to suffer, and I will apologize for you guys if I don't hit my normal number of movies this year. We gotta have a babysitter, or I gotta go by myself, and I'm falling behind. It's very frustrating to me. I want you to know, if I have anxiety about anything in a week, it's that I can't fucking go see the movies that I want to see. But the baby is worth it, so I'm dealing with it. What's coming up? I'm trying to think. Toy Story, I missed that one. I really wanted to see that one. I like the Toy Story franchise. Young Washington, I made it to that one. Supergirl, I liked that movie. I saw that. Odyssey, we got out of the way. Moana, I don't care about. Minions and Monsters, I want to see that. Evil Dead Burn, I want to see that. The Invite, I don't know. So I got 2 on my list, and they're cartoon movies. Evil Dead Burn, I will probably go see next if I get a chance. If I had infinite free time, Minions and Monsters and Toy Story 5, but I'm probably going to end up missing them. What can I do? The wife wanted a baby. Family first, Interstellar. That's right. Hey, my kid is going to be brought up to love movies just like my two other boys. I still go to, one of my oldest son moved out of state for his doctor's practice. And the younger one, he's been here going to business school. And we go to movies together a lot. But now he's leaving. He's moving up to New York to work in the industry for probably one of those firms you guys all hate. You may have some videos of me in a few weeks or months walking the parks talking to the ducks as I visit my kiddo up in New York. But Colt will be indoctrinated in the love of the big screen. It has been a love of mine since college when I was a broke motherfucker. And I'd have to go to the dollar theater just to see the movies that I wanted. Now I'm like going to AMC. I'm like in a freaking casino in Vegas. Look at this. They're so beautiful now. And A-List makes it so easy. 4 movies a week in any format for like $20. Stupid. Who wouldn't do that? Is AMC better than Regal Cinemas? Fuck Regal Cinemas, Palm Prowler. Get the fuck out of here. Their popcorn sucks, bro. Before 2021, I was very agnostic about what theater I went to. Once I was invested in AMC, of course, I only have been to AMC with very rare exception. But for a few years, I mean, she's given up now. For a few years, my wife was always like, can we please go to Alamo? No, I'm not going to Alamo. I like to believe that I have a hand in forcing their bankruptcy because we stopped going. Hopefully you guys participated in that too. Alamo. I love Alamo, but I'm not invested in Alamo. I'm going to support my investment. Is The Digger based on Les Grossman? I don't think so, Manicio, but I saw a trailer for it. It looks pretty good. I'm having a hard time coming up with what to estimate for projected box office for Digger, but it's Tom Cruise, so I'm hoping that it's going to be far higher than what I have. What do I have right now for Digger? Is that Q3 or Q4? I think I have a pretty low number. I have 150. I think I upped it. I think I upped it from 100 to 150 earlier this week. But I don't know. This one's tough to call. Tom Cruise, Jesse Plemons, John Goodman. I don't remember who Riz Ahmed is. I'm probably remiss for not remembering that. But I think the media is going to get behind pushing this movie. And I hope it's good. And by the way, if you weren't watching earlier, I said, go watch the trailer for Other Mommy. I watched it for the first time today. It literally gave me a jump scare in one key point. Whale Fall is another interesting one with Josh Brolin. A guy literally gets swallowed by a whale. Kind of a sleeper movie. Might be interesting. The preview, the trailer's out on that one. Go watch that. Can you imagine getting swallowed by a whale? Woo! Oh, The End of Oak Street, Paul. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make about The End of Oak Street. I've watched the trailers and I will go see it without a doubt. But it's having a hard time resonating with me. Tell me in the chat, what am I missing? Like, it's fair. Everybody has something that speaks to them. Tell me what about the trailer or the director or the actors? What is it about the end of Oak Street that is got you under its spell right now? Because I'm trying to give it a fair shake, and it hasn't like clicked with me just yet. I assure you I will go see it, but I'm still on the fence. Like, am I going to like this movie or not? I don't know. Insidious, Fall 2. Yeah, Fall 2 is going to be another one of those. Yes. Am I almost done? Yes. You're being mighty loud. I said you're being mighty loud.
I can't hear him.
I know. That's why you're being loud. Let me see the baby. What's he frustrated about?
Well, breastfeeding. Now he wants to eat to go to bed.
Colty, come say hello. All right, he's getting ready to go night-night, so he just wanted to say hello. He loves that screen, and that screen, really loves that screen, and he loves that screen. One day he's going to be talking in that microphone. Right now he just stares at it like, Dad, you got a lot of flashing lights here. He hangs out here with me all day. I think he mostly likes my mouse pad because it's got LEDs that go in a circle and the mouse lights up. But he is starting to pay attention to the screens too. Dan says, get another beer. Interstellar Ape says, I lost a lot of hearing with my boy. He's actually a pretty damn good baby. I mean, it's my third one. And I've told my wife the first two were really, really good. And I'm hopeful that we're lucky with him. And he's been a sweet boy. Life is a crisis when he's hungry. But other than that, he's pretty easygoing. All right, Papa? Huh? Well, do you have his bottle ready? He's getting ready. She's going to feed him and put him to bed. Thank you, Interstellar. I said, do you have his bottle ready? All right. Can you bring me a beer? Can you bring me a cerveza?
Beer?
Yes. She said, does that mean a beer? All right. Paul says, end of Oak Street's draw is dinosaurs. Plus, it is a people survival movie. Maybe some nostalgia, and a big fan of Anne Hathaway. I did notice the Anne Hathaway angle. And yeah, we're on board for that. My father-in-law especially likes Anne Hathaway. Thank you, babe. Do you want to take him?
He needs some more mixed milk. There's like.
All right, I'll take care of that when we're done here.
Ooh, he is warm now. Hey, how much longer are you going? I thought it was like an hour.
I don't know, guys. How much longer should we go? It's 9 o'clock. The night is still young. We're having.
Start it at 7.
Yes, tone it down. You're a little loud.
I can't hear her.
I know. She doesn't have her hearing aids in right now, so she doesn't realize how loud she's being.
Tony, you started at 7. That's no, time to get off.
All right, we're getting the red light here. 2 hours, but I'm gonna hang out with y'all for a while, anyways.
You got a son and a grandbaby.
If you have questions, I'll hang out with you for a couple more minutes. She's gonna be feeding the baby, anyways. We did catch up, the wife and I, the other night on Dutton Ranch. If y'all are watching that, let me know what you thought about the season ending. And the other one with Kayo. What's up, brother? I'm a Navy SEAL. We're way behind on that one. It's funny how when you get a baby, you start getting behind on everything. Anya says, I don't have access to Dutton Ranch. I don't even think she can hear me yelling at her. At any rate, yes, thank you about the end of Oak Street. I'm hoping that it's good. I don't know what to expect. The trailers haven't like jumped out at me like, oh, you got to see this. I usually get a pretty good feel for what I'm going to like by watching the trailer. There's another Anne Hathaway movie, Verity, coming out in October. Anne Hathaway, Dakota Johnson, Josh Hartnett, and Ismael Cordova. Crime, drama, mystery, romance thriller. Yeah, I think she just confirmed she's being loud on purpose. Don't make me go Beth Dutton on you, Anya. Don't make me go Beth Dutton on you, Anya. That's funny, Anya. Rip, Anya. Rip. He kicked some ass in the last couple episodes. Wired Ape says, with AMC's poor performance, bondholders needed to hedge their corporate bonds. Those hedges should start unwinding tomorrow, Tony, and that price range was a wild range for that hedging period. Yeah, I mean, that is, I think, a good read on the situation. In fact, I talked about that in the Discord this morning. We have not only the bondholders, but we have Pentwater, Discovery, and some unknown other third party or multiple parties with 95 million new shares. And what I said this morning in the Discord is, I don't know. I mean, I know who owns the shares, but I don't know what their trading strategy is. I don't know what their end goal is. I have my suspicions. I voiced those suspicions. Look, they're hedge funds. They're opportunistic traders. But they're not dum-dums either. They either decide this thing's going up and we're going to try and capitalize on that, or they decide this thing's going up and we're going to capitalize on that, plus have some risk management, which could include derivatives or shorting. I really don't know. I've stopped talking about it on X as much because it hurts people's feelings if I express a belief that distressed debt hedge funds might trade out of a stock. That like rocks people's world. Like, hello, understand motivations, you'll understand outcomes. But would I like to believe that they're holding for the moon? You know, whether the moon's $4, $6. Yes, I'd love to believe that they're holding. But I recognize that they might have strategies that are far too complex for me to understand that might suppress the price. And you're alluding to one of them, just basic bondholder hedging. As things get better, to your point, as things get better, that hedge unwinds. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If you understand that bondholders are going to hedge, that means they're going to short. You're not going to be upset or confused when the price gets pushed down. Yes, they're going to do what they got to do. When things turn around, they unwind it, as you know. You guys have been around here for a while. None of this is a surprise to you. I see a lot of people that are surprised. Crying, manipulation, blah, blah, blah. They're going to do what they're going to do. If you can understand it, then it takes away a lot of the frustration. I really did like Mortal Kombat 2, Paul. I did like it a lot for what it was. And Masters of the Universe too. I'm going to watch that again whenever it's free, if it's on streaming. I would have watched it twice in the theater, Masters of the Universe. For me, it was that good. I know it got panned by some people. I thought it was hilarious and good. Whale Fall. Oh, now that we got the 10Q, I can update my interest expense calculator. I put together a pretty intricate, it's not, anybody could do this, but I put together a pretty intricate interest expense calculator so that I can calculate what the Q3 interest expense will be, but I needed the data from Q2, which I will fill in here and then drop down to over here. We got the 10Q today. I haven't read it. I was so excited about the proxy, I didn't even read the 10Q. We already got the basic results, but I will read the 10Q mañana, and if anything pops up that is worth talking about, I'll come back and let y'all know. Interest expense calculator feeds into the spreadsheet to this line item, which is interest expense. But what I wanted to look at was other movies. Masters of the Universe, loved it. Backrooms was pretty good. Mandalorian, loved it. Scary Movie, don't care. Saw it, almost fell asleep. Disclosure Day, I thought it was overhyped. Supergirl, I liked. I know a lot of people didn't. It's funny how we all have different what we liked and what we didn't like. Young Washington, fantastic. Can't wait for the part 2. And the Odyssey was very good, but very long, but very good. I saw it in Dolby. I will go see it in IMAX at some point. I'm just not interested in dealing with crowds. And our AMC IMAX's seating sucks. It's that old school seating. It's not comfortable. And Dolby is total lux. Total lux, and it is very close to me. And it's a dine-in theater. You can order pizza, you can order chicken sandwiches, whatever you want. Our IMAX is just basic. You can get, movie nachos, which is some chips in a bag and a little pull tab of nacho cheese. Come on, AMC. We could do better, bro. Put me in charge of food and bev, Adam. It's movie nachos. My father-in-law loves them. No, I will not go pay $15 for a bag of chips and a pull tab of queso cheese. No. Make it look beautiful. Make it look custom. Hot dogs and popcorn. That's what we got at our IMAX. Chicken tenders. Take me to the dine-in theater. Give me that highfalutin, high quality food. I did not see Madonna at the halftime show in ECO. Best one-liners in Masters of the Universe, right? Millennials don't care about He-Man. That was the problem. I grew up in that time frame where I was too old to watch He-Man, but I had younger brother and sister that watched it religiously, and so it was on at our house a lot, and by osmosis I watched it. Before the movie came out, I went and on streaming, I went and just rewatched like the first 4 episodes. And honestly, if you rewatch like the first 4 episodes of the cartoon, what was the main character's name? Adam. They did not respect Adam. They laughed at him. They called him a dunce or a dolt or he was not a well-respected character in his human form. And I know a lot of people got mad at this movie because the human character was a bit of a goof. Well, he was in the cartoon too. I don't know what you're upset about, except you probably never watched Masters of the Universe and didn't realize they were very true to the original IP, in my opinion. He also had a goofy message for the young viewers, a message of how to be a better person. I'm gonna do a video for you guys, just a short. There was one of the messages at the end of one of the episodes. It was something like, be careful about people who overpromise things. It just reminded me of the stock market. I thought it was hilarious. I'm going to go find it and record it and post it for you guys. Anya says, I survived the He-Man era. Yes, babe.
Do you have any burgers?
I do have some burgers I can make us, yes.
Really?
Yeah. Are you hungry?
Like last-
Just like last night, yep.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'm being requested. Being requested for chef duties. I'm the burger specialist around here. All right. Let's see what final comments they care about She-Man. There will be a She-Ra or She-Man movie, whatever the fuck her name is. I think there will be some follow-ons. Speaking of Young Washington, are you going to cover ANGX earnings? Yes. I've been so fucking busy that I haven't been keeping up with ANGX. And look at this. I said back a couple months ago I was not ready to buy at $2. Fuck me, man. It's at $4.49. I need to go revalidate my assumptions, and because I was worried about dilution risk. And then Animal Farm tanked, and I said, okay, I'm okay to wait. But then it's just been on a tear. I don't know what to tell you. I don't always get shit right. I want to see Angel Studios succeed. The price has doubled since we started covering it. I messed up and I didn't take an entry. I should have taken a chance. But I will be covering it, yeah. And the earnings is on early August, so I'll set up a live stream for that. Maybe can I come back in and recover? We'll see. I fucked up. I fucked up by not taking an entry when I should have. Anya says, I should have coerced you about it. Anya, there's so many tickers that I'm watching. You know this more than anybody else. So many tickers I'm watching in any given day, any given week. Sometimes a few of them fall by the wayside. You can see I don't have any alerts set for Angel Studios. You know I want them to do well. You know I support them. But I thought they were going to dilute some more. And they didn't. And whoever bought in at $2 is now up 100%. I'm still happy. I love to see y'all win. I know there's plenty of trades I'm going to make money on or am making money on, so I don't sweat one that I miss. But god damn it, man, that's a rough one. May, June, July, 3 months could have doubled your money. Ask Scarlett to add it to the logbook about mistakes. She already walked away, Anya, so thankfully she didn't hear it. Tony made a mistake. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun hanging out with you. I'm going to go cook some burgers. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Tomorrow's Friday. We got Evil Dead Burn. I got to see that this weekend, one way or the other. Proxy looks good. Bullish. No reverse split. No extra shares. Is that a guarantee they won't dilute more? No, it's not a guarantee. They got 150 million left. But it is Sean Goodman telling Adam Aaron we're okay, bro. What's the bearish argument now? Psh, it's gone. It's gone. If you got a bearish argument, try and leave it in the comments. Leave your emotions at the door. Leave your hatred of Adam Aaron at the door. I don't care about your, you fucked up 3 years ago and didn't sell when you should have. I don't care about any of your nonsense. Tell me what the bearish argument is right now. I don't like Adam Aaron. Get the fuck out of here. We talk data. You got no data. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
We've been waiting for so long. Edgy's reign will soon be gone. A green candle up, a red candle down. By the dip, gotta hold our ground. Edgy's games are dead and gone. Fuck the shorts, we're going.